Well, hi. Good morning. Good afternoon. Wherever you are, good evening, whatever part of the world you are. My name is Izzy Lewis, and I'm coming to you from Feelbetterconsulting, where we do a lot of life engaging growth conversations. We do coaching on your business, your personal life. We do coaching on credit restoration. We also do coaching on surviving autism. I'm excited. I'm excited. So today, we're gonna and please like, click, and subscribe, and you can also join the conversation. We're always going to be on here talking about how to fix your credit without having to pay money, or if you want to add for a service, because we do that. But this is free conversations about things that ordinarily you're not sure about. And we're also going to be talking about engaging in your self development, job growth, um, career growth, career changes, career transitions. We also are going to be talking about surviving autism. So feel free to join the chat. Um, Feel free to join the conversation. So, we're going to be talking today about life events and your credit. What are life events and your credit? So, for example, and if you can hear me, please let me know. Life events are things such as death in the family, one, um, a marriage, relationship changes. For example, if you live with someone, you guys no longer live together, but you were sharing bills, you were sharing a home, you were co paying for things. It can also be changes in circumstances. For example, in your job, you lost your job, changed jobs, you didn't have income for 3 months. It could be an illness or an injury, like a chronic illness that really holds you back from life. For example, cancer, anything that's tragic. So, when life events happens, our credit oftentimes suffers. And so we do credit restoration. Our website is mycreditfixnow.com. When you do come on board with us, we offer you a monthly fee. I do it in the state of New Jersey, but this information can be used universally for anyone. I am proud of the accomplishments we've done for our clients in reference to assisting them with getting back their good name. Our motto is maximizing potential and getting you your good name. And so, what's important about your good name? It is because without a good name, without your name, you suffer. So oftentimes you want to what? Enhance your name, get your name right. You want to make sure that you're being represented right. And so today we're talking about credit restoration in the form of consulting. We're not talking about the other stuff today. We're talking about credit restoration. So let's go ahead and repeat what I said. Today we're going to talk about when life happens and what happens to your credit. And we said, what is life events? When a life event happens, I'm sorry. So examples of life event is one, death in the family, two, marriage, three, relationship changes, household changes, three, four, I'm sorry, changes in circumstances like in your job, in your location where you live, or a major illness in your life. So when this happens, you want to know that you're still going to be okay. You're going to be able to come back up and take care of yourself. And some of the ways that we want to encourage you to do this, you first want to make sure that you are in touch with the creditors. In other words, don't just get upset or don't just get depressed. You want to build that conversation and share this information with them. So, for example, when something happens major in your life, it oftentimes create a havoc in your credit consistency. So, for example, it might change your ability to pay certain bills, certain insurances, certain finances, certain loans may get difficult. Um, you may run out of funds for a lot of different things. So, you need to really get your credit up because you want to get back to what you can afford, what you can handle. You may not qualify for a new mortgage, even though you need to move, even though you guys have separated that house, you guys don't have that house anymore. Let's specifically talk about examples of a divorce. When a divorce happens, you have a split of a lot of the assets. And so you may have to purchase a brand new vehicle. You want to make sure that your credit is not being ran over and over, because every time you run your credit, so much points comes off of that. You want to be in touch with what can I do to not tarnish my name even more when I'm going through this life event. You want to be careful of what you take out in loans or new ventures, because everything is going to be a credit check. And so again, these things are going to happen. We do know that these things are going to happen from time to time. Um, uh, Life events are going to happen. What do I do for my credit, right? So what do you do for your credit when a life event happens? You want to make sure that you understand what is in your name, what can cost you to take things out of your name. You want to make sure you don't close any accounts. You want to make sure you're in touch with the creditors and the credit bureaus as best as you can to explain your situation. You want to write in with the changes and verify things. Um, if any of these scenarios do happen, you want to understand the risk that's involved to move forward. And you want to make sure that you know how important it is to keep a good credit. So, stuff happens. You do know that if your credit is tarnished, it's going to take at least 3 months to get it back up to a decent standard. So, do know that a delay is not a denial. So you may get delayed a little bit, but you do want to know that it's gonna come back together. You do want to understand what you don't need to be doing to get your credit down even more, because after things happen, there will be a change. However, with the knowledge that you will gain, you will be able to replenish your good name. Anybody have any questions, any comments? Um, uh, let's talk about credit cards that you show when you're going through a divorce and how to deal with that. Want to make sure that even if you have not visited an agreement, for example, a court or a mediator, you still want to continue to pay that card until a decision has been made. Do not stop payments because it will go into delinquency. And so therefore the credit bureaus and the creditors do not know what you're going through. So it's going to be very difficult for them to favor you when they don't know. So there you go. You want to communicate with them and you want to continue to pay until a formal decision has been made. You also want to make a plan to how you will pay down that debt, that joint debt. You want to make plans. And I always say in anything we do, you want to always have your thoughts to flow. Hence is the topic of the book. Think in the now for success. You want to always think through your decisions, okay? As a life coach, as a business coach, and as a credit restoration coach, I want to tell you that no decision should be quick. You should always make sure that you take your time in thinking through situations. You want to think through your decisions. And it's a process. Everything is a process. Even fixing your credit is a process, because when you send information to the credit bureaus and the creditors or the collections, you have to give them at least 30 days to respond. It's not immediate. And some of them will need some verification from you. So then you need to give that verification, and then the process continues. What else do we want to talk about today? When you are going through a life event, especially a divorce, sometimes the communication, even though you may be a person that is on point with everything, that other person may not have as much of the time and the ability to keep up with your pace. So therefore now you want to make sure you take that into consideration in resolving the matters. And remember, the title here is A Delay is Not a Denial. What happens? What do I do with my credit when a life event happens? What do I do with my credit when a life event happens? And this is a life event meaning a marriage, a death, or a divorce, or anything that changes that's beyond your control. One of the most key things in a divorce as a life event is who splits the house, who pays the mortgage, what do we do in that situation. Um, that's one that takes a lot of control and a lot of communication. Um, it takes time to see what the judge or what your conclusion is going to be, but you don't want to stop making payments. Does that make sense? You want to continue with what you are doing as best as you can. If you get into a situation where you cannot continue, you want to get in touch with the creditors, with the bank, have a communication with them so that at least they can consider your situation and give you advice of how to proceed. You want to communicate at all times, even though most of us want to go into a little depression and a little sadness, because it does take you back when you go through a life event. It takes your emotion to another level, but you do want to know that there's solutions, there's resolutions. So for more information, join us in the conversation. Leave your comments below. Ask questions. I'm here to answer your questions. We're located in New Jersey for services. We also do a lot of our coaching via telephone and the website, Zoom and or phone calls. The reason is after COVID, a lot of us don't really want to come into an office. But when it comes to credit restoration, you have to come do an initial visit in the office. We're located in East Brunswick, and then the follow-ups continues. Now, I want to share something with you guys. Credit restoration takes at least 3 months. The reason why is, guess why? When you send a letter out, you initially want to hear back from them. You have to give them 30 days. After 30 days, within 30 days, they have to answer. You have to wait to get that response. You have to see what they said, and then you have to respond back. Sometimes it's a quick response. Sometimes it's a delayed response. And so in addition to the delay being involved, you also have to see how they responded to your inquiry and your concern. If they did not respond to you favorably, you want to then retry with another approach. So that at least takes 90 days to seal the deal on the issues. Now, keep in mind now, you may have different concerns on your credit report. Not only one issue, you may have tons of issues. So it takes a while to address all of these different issues. And we don't only address your credit with one aspect. There's different ways to respond and reflect on it. You can go through dealing with the credit bureaus. You can go through dealing with the creditors yourself in person. You can go dealing with the collection agents. You can go dealing with the parameters of all the parties involved. Now, this is just a conversation. A lot of times people want to scare you and think that, oh, it's so much money to fix your credit. No, you can start doing it yourself. You can make sure that name is right on your report, your address is right, your phone number is right, because those are key things that represent who you are. And if those things have changed, you want to make sure you update those information. I think this is good information for today. I enjoyed talking with you guys. I'll come back and see you some more. Remember, click like, subscribe, and share this video. We want to make sure we can come to you with all the information to make your name great. Remember, we're maximizing potential. Remember, you are a winner. Stick with us and you will see. Talk to you real soon. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.